My son messaged me at 2 a.m. insisting on $50,000 or I'm excluded from Thanksgiving. I'm Henry Collins, and I just received the most devastating text a dad could get. Deliver $50,000 to the hospital event or stay away entirely. I won't tolerate being shamed by you any longer. This came from my heart specialist son. The very child I juggled 3 jobs for to send through med school. The boy I covered $300,000 for so he could finish without debt while his peers struggled with loans. Now he's humiliated by his custodian dad. He presents me as an old acquaintance to his partner. Skipped inviting me to his ceremony. Treats me like a burden he has to handle. But here's what Ryan doesn't realize. His allegedly broke father has been constructing something enormous. Something that would make all the physicians at that upscale hospital gathering show deep admiration. Hit subscribe because you're going to see the most rewarding parental turnaround ever. Believe me, this turns epic because my thankless son just challenged the wrong cleaner. Let me describe how unseen I'd grown to my own boy. 2 months back, Ryan completed his heart surgery fellowship. 7 years of preparation, at last done. The event was at Riverside's Plaza Hall. Stunning location. 500 attendees in the grand room. I got no invite. Not for the event, not the meal, not even informed until I spotted pics on social media 3 days after. There's Ryan in his lab coat, encircled by peers and their kin, his med school head congratulating him. Fellow trainees with their beaming folks. I rang him that evening. Hey kid, caught your pictures. Well done. Extended silence. Thanks, Dad. It was no big deal. No big deal. 7 years of prep. The peak of all we'd strived for. No big deal. But that wasn't what crushed me. That hit 2 weeks on. Ryan asked me to supper at the Capitol Steakhouse. Said he aimed to mark it right. I donned my finest shirt, the one purchased for his med school completion 6 years prior. Still suited me. The spot was fancy, where they refold your napkin if you step away. $40 cuts of meat, wine menu denser than a health tome. Ryan was seated already when I showed, with a lady I'd never seen. Fair-haired, refined, clearly never fretted over bills. Dad, he said, rising. Meet Grace. Grace, this is my dad, Henry. At least he used Dad. That meant a bit. We settled in. I picked the least pricey item, a $28 poultry dish pricier than my old weekly food budget. Grace spoke of her role at an ad agency, her fresh Italy vacation, her folks' cabin by the water. What's your line of work, Henry? She inquired. Ryan cut in fast. Dad operates a modest upkeep firm. Quite regional. The tone on regional made it seem like a flaw. Not my dad created a thriving enterprise. Not he held 3 gigs to fund my med education, just modest upkeep firm. As the meal progressed, I saw how Ryan kept diverting talk from me. When Grace queried my job, he switched topics. When she brought up family customs, he focused on his upcoming goals rather than our history. I stepped out to the restroom, stood in that stone-floored area, staring at my image. My palms were spotless, but the tough skin remained visible. 27 years of late hours, side-washing tasks, rideshare runs amid cleaning duties. Back at the table, they discussed Thanksgiving ideas. We're considering a classy gathering, Ryan noted. My co-workers, some of Grace's pals. Turn it into a true affair. Sounds great, I replied. Ryan's grin stiffened. Actually, Dad, regarding that. We're aiming for a pro vibe. You get it? I got it crystal clear. That's when I began viewing the figures anew. All those years of giving up, I'd tracked everything precisely. Each transaction, each placement, each buck toward his tomorrow. Ryan knew I'd funded med school. He'd expressed gratitude at the end, but he figured I'd mortgaged the home, grabbed loans, pieced together cash I lacked. He had zero clue what I'd truly assembled. You see, handling cleaning deals for 27 years teaches you stuff. You catch dialogues. You spot money papers on tables. You grasp how funds flow in this town. And when you're too worn to splurge on yourself, when every spare cent aids your son's schooling, when you park the remainder in basic market funds steadily, month by month, year by year, those sums grow big. The Granite Investments reports arrived every quarter, always to H. Collins, Collins Cleaning Group. Ryan never quizzed about my operation. Never pondered how a tiny cleaning outfit could cough up $300,000 cash for med school. He'd persuaded himself his achievement stemmed from his talent with minor aid from his battling dad who'd given all. But Ryan was clueless about my secrets. Post that supper, I returned to my compact flat and did what I hadn't in ages. I laid out all my money papers on the dining surface. 20 years of Granite reports, the asset collection I'd grown since Ryan hit 18. Monthly, without skip, I'd fed the broad market index. $500 in flush times, $200 in lean, never skipped. The newest report read $890,247.33, almost $900,000 from a cleaner who apparently shamed his surgeon son. Beside the asset papers, I placed the med school bills. Brighton School of Medicine. 7 years of charges, classes, extras, housing and meals, health gear, each term settled fully in cash 2 weeks early. Some $319,847. Then the coverage plan. Sterling Life Assurance, $1.2 million payout. I'd paid dues for 15 years. Ryan sole heir. He knew none of it. To Ryan, his dad was a needy cleaner scraping by. Someone to conceal from achievers, someone who might beg cash instead of provide. But here's the outcome if I kept quiet. I'd arrive at his Thanksgiving bash with nothing. I'd observe him label me as the staff to his peers. I'd grin and agree while he acted like our shared past vanished. Then one day I'd pass, and he'd get it all. The assets, the coverage, the firm I'd formed. Everything to a guy ashamed of its maker. That seemed unjust. I grabbed my device and browsed Ryan's online profiles. Shots from health summits, images with fellow young docs, grace at benefit nights, always that circle, folks who'd never stressed rent, never labored weekends, never sacrificed so another could thrive. In each shot, Ryan appeared assured, accomplished, like he fit that realm. But I knew reality sans my efforts, he'd sink in student debt like many peers. Sans my 20-hour shifts, he'd lack study focus. Sans my side washing roles, no funds for entry exam prep. I'd forged his triumph. And now he sought payment to dodge shame from it. The harshest bit, I'd likely comply. Not from necessity, not since $50,000 would ruin me. I could sign that tonight with scant impact on my holdings. I'd do it from affection. Because eternal loss of my son hurt more than disgrace. But at 3 a.m., amid proof of all I'd made, I grasped a truth. Affection minus respect isn't true affection. It's indulgence. Ryan must comprehend what he discarded. He must view the guy beyond the bucket. He must grasp success isn't solely personal feats. It's valuing those who enabled them. I fired up my computer and took a step I'd never before. I probed Riverside Medical Center's leadership board, their money setup, their public debt backing, their upgrade initiatives. What I uncovered brought my first grin in weeks. At times, fate delivers precisely what's required, right on cue. Ryan aimed to wield influence. He aimed to view me as mere staff. Okay. But he was set to discover the staff had observed, absorbed, expanded, and certain teachings demand tough delivery. The ring came next night as I scanned facility deals. Dad. Ryan's tone was sharp, businesslike. The manner he likely used with tough cases. Hey, kid. Saw your note. Good. So, you grasp the setup? I placed my writing tool. 27 years of holding back. 27 years of sure, and as you see fit. Not now. Clarify for me, I stated. $50,000 for holiday meal. It's beyond meal, Dad. This is a center board benefit soiree. Key figures attending, unit chiefs, big givers. This might shape my path. And you seek funds from me because quiet, then an exhale. Like clarifying basics to the unaware. Listen, Dad, I value all you've given, but this concerns my tomorrow. I can't afford issues. Issues? You know the deal. No, I don't. Spell it out. More quiet. I heard him shift, likely walking his place, the one I'd aided in setting up 3 years back. My associates anticipate a level. Grace's kin will attend. Leaders who pick advancements. I must blend, and you don't mesh. Dad, please. Don't complicate this. Respond, Ryan. Do I mesh with your key folks? Extended quiet. When he replied, his tone chilled. You're a custodian, Dad. These are operators, execs, folks who sign huge donations. They won't connect with your role. My spot. What if I said they might connect more than you believe? What's that? I eyed the center debt paper on my workspace. Series RV 2019, $500,000. Public health funding to Henry Collins. Nada. Just musing. Dad, see. I hate wounding you. But this is life. These folks assess on looks, achievements, rank, you appearing in uniform, chatting upkeep deals. It hinders me. So, you want payment to skip shaming you? I want aid in thriving. Isn't that parental duty? 27 years aiding his thrive. $319,000 in school fees, 80-hour weeks, skipped rest, skipped eats, skipped living. All for him to deem me a shame. Your pay now, Ryan. Huh. As heart operator. Amount? Irrelevant. Indulge me. $380,000 starting. And you seek $50K from your custodian dad. It's not want, Dad. It's about look, persona. You wouldn't get it. Wouldn't get it. I checked my asset report once more. $890,000. Amassed $50 bits. While he dozed college, I drove shares at midnight. While he prepped exams, I cleaned structures at dawn. Spot on, kid. I don't get it. Ease in his words. Knew you'd see. Wire funds by morn. Must plan. What for the $50K? We covered this. We covered, but I never consented. Quiet. Then. I don't get how my boy turned into a guy demanding cash from his dad to evade shame by him. Dad, skip the drama. No drama, Ryan. Clarity. Answers no. No. No funds, no payout, no $50K. His tone edged, mad. Then skip it. Wasn't intending. Fine. Better that way. Likely. Know what, Dad? This is why I skipped you. This mindset, this resentment. Resentment. No resentment, kid. Disappointment. In your character. Connection silent. Heard his breath. When he spoke, tone firmer. Your issue, Dad. You believe life owes you for effort. But all effort. Difference, some build selves. Build selves. And some build others. I said, mean what? Solve it, Dr. Collins. I ended the call. The flat was hushed. I lingered, eyeing the device. Ryan nailed one point. I did think life owed me. Owed a boy recalling origins. But perhaps cease awaiting repayment. Perhaps time for alternate collection. Next dawn, I took a step absent 15 years. Phoned ill. Rather than 6 a.m. shift, I headed to my storage spot east side. 20 years records, deals, certs, papers kept but overlooked. Collins Cleaning Group had expanded beyond notice. Began solo with Bucket in 1997. Now 12 staff, deals with 37 sites metro-wide, health spots, offices, public structures, including Riverside Medical Center. Drew the deal file from 2019, 5-year pact. Collins Cleaning Group delivers complete care and fix services for core building, heart section, and admin spaces. Yearly value $480,000. But not the key. Key hidden page 12 of public funding docs. When Riverside grew heart section in 2019, funded via public bonds. Area investment options for qualifying local owners. I qualified. The bonds cert in original cover. Series RV 2019, $500,000 placement, 10-year span, now $637,000. Henry Collins wasn't merely the custodian at Riverside. He was a prime backer. I dug deeper in files. Located the note from Center's finance head appreciating my heart section growth input. Located the bond backer thanks meal invite I'd skipped. Located quarterly updates on how my input aided the precise area Ryan now operated. My son conducted cardiac procedures in a structure I'd helped finance. He preserved lives with tools my backing acquired. He advanced his role in a setup existing partly due to his custodian dad's faith in its goal. But Ryan knew zilch. To him, I merely handled a mop post hours. I checked time. 2 p.m. In 6 hours, Center's night crew starts. Dr. Emily Parker would be in her space, the finance lead who'd thanked me personally for bond input. She'd recall me. She'd recall the late shift custodian who'd boosted her heart section growth. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Ryan's grand event tomorrow evening. I had 18 hours to choose my next step with all I'd uncovered. 18 hours to decide whether to remain unseen or step into view. I secured the storage unit and drove home. Made a sandwich. Sat at my kitchen table, documents spread out again. Asset reports, bond certificates, facility contracts, med school receipts, a 20-year tale told in figures and signatures. Ryan wanted to play status and shame games. Fine. But he picked the wrong stage and the wrong rival. Thanksgiving evening, 7 p.m. The Riverside Medical Foundation's yearly benefit gala was in the center's new meeting hall, funded by public bonds I'd helped back. I stood in the lot, gazing at the building through my windshield, string lights on entry pillars, valet service, men in tuxes, women in gowns gliding through glass doors. I wore my work gear, navy shirt with Collins Cleaning Group stitched on the pocket, sturdy boots, the outfit I'd cleaned these floors in for 5 years. My phone pinged. Ryan's text, confirming you're not showing. Best that way. I switched off the phone and stepped out. The valet kid looked puzzled as I passed. The woman at the check-in table seemed more confused when I neared. "Sir, this is private," she said. "I know. I'm here for Dr. Ryan Collins." She checked her tablet. "Guest list?" "No, I'm his dad." Her face softened. "Oh, well, let me." "No need. I'll find him." The hall was stunning, high beams, white linen tables, floral centerpieces, about 150 folks mingling with drinks. I spotted Ryan by the bar, chatting with a suited group, Grace beside him in a sleek black dress worth more than my weekly pay. I approached. Their talk halted as they saw me. 5 sets of eyes locked on me, a worker in their cocktail circle. "Dad," Ryan choked out. "What's this?" "Happy Thanksgiving, son." They tried not to gape but failed miserably. A woman in pearls whispered to her neighbor. "Dad, this isn't right," Ryan said. "I know, but we need to speak." "Not here, not now." "Yes, here, now." He grabbed my arm, tugging me aside, but I held firm. "Actually, son, your friends might want in on this." His face paled. "Dad, don't." Grace stepped up, her smile sharp. "Sorry, who are you?" "Henry Collins, Ryan's father." "Father?" The Pearl Lady looked lost. "Ryan, I thought you said, it's complex," Ryan cut in fast. "Not that complex, son. Explain our complex bond." The group stared. Nearby tables went quiet. Ryan's voice dropped, urgent. "Dad, not here. Tell them how you describe me, Ryan. Your small local cleaning dad. Why no graduation invite? Why the different intros?" The Pearl Lady glanced between us. "Ryan, what's he mean?" Ryan's calm was fraying. "We see things differently," he said. "Differently?" I chuckled. "That's what you call it? Embarrassed by me? Fine." Ryan's voice rose, sharp. "There, happy? You embarrass me." Silence gripped our corner. But he kept going, anger overtaking. "Your issue, Dad? You think hard work earns you something? Nobody cares how many floors you mopped. Nobody cares about your struggles." The group froze. Grace looked like she'd vanish. "These people," Ryan waved at the room, "judge on results, success, achievements. What have you done? A small cleaning outfit. Always small time." His voice grew louder. "You think strolling in here in work gear proves something? Think shaming me before my peers makes you the victor? You're lost." The Pearl Lady shifted uncomfortably. "Ryan, maybe, no, Laura, he needs this." "Dad, want $50,000. Truth, your little firm isn't worth that. You're not successful, not notable. A dad living through his son's wins." I eyed him, this man I'd raised, the one I'd poured everything into. "Done?" I asked softly. "Done, and so are you. Security can show you out." Then a familiar voice cut in behind me. "Excuse me, Henry." I turned. Dr. Emily Parker, the center's finance chief, approached, tall, poised, silver hair, warm eyes, in a navy gown, holding a leather folder. "Dr. Parker," I greeted. "Good evening." Ryan frowned. "You know each other?" Everything shifted. Ryan's face burned red, his poise gone. "Your issue, Dad? You think effort earns you something? Nobody cares about mopped floors or your hard luck tale." The group stood still. Grace seemed ready to fade. "These folks," Ryan gestured, "value results, success, what you've built." "What have you built?" "A cleaner, always a cleaner." His breath was heavy, voice rising. "Think work clothes here prove a point? Think humiliating me before peers makes you heroic? You're delusional." The Pearl Lady squirmed. "Ryan, perhaps, no, Laura, he needs to hear it. Dad, $50,000. Truth, you're not worth $50. A failure leeching off his son's success." "Failure?" I held his gaze, this man I'd shaped, given all four. "Done?" I asked quietly. "Done. You're out. Security's waiting." Then the voice again. "Excuse me, Henry." I turned. Dr. Emily Parker approached, finance chief, in her navy gown, folder in hand. "Dr. Parker," I said. "Good evening." Ryan blinked. "You two know each other?" She smiled at me. "Oh, Henry and I go back, don't we?" "A few years," I nodded. She faced Ryan. You must be Ryan. Your dad mentions you often in our early meetings. Meetings? Ryan's tone wavered. Oh, yes. Henry and I chat when I'm late and he's starting his shift. So dedicated, always asking about our finances, expansion plans. Ryan's mind raced, not connecting yet. Dr. Parker opened her folder. Henry, glad you're here. Meant to share your latest bond report. The word bond struck like lightning. Bond? Grace's voice was faint. Dr. Parker drew a paper. Your Series RV 2019 Cardiac Wing Bond. Current value, let's see, $637,000. Dead silence. $637,000, she repeated. Fine return on your $500,000, right? Ryan stared like I was a stranger. $500,000. Dr. Parker smiled on. Didn't Henry mention? A major backer. When we needed cardiac wing funds, Henry stepped up big. She faced the group. Funny, people see Henry in work gear and think just a cleaner. But Henry Collins is a top Kansas City entrepreneur. The Pearl Lady, Laura, eyed me anew. Entrepreneur. Collins Cleaning Group, Dr. Parker noted. 37 metro contracts. Revenue last year, Henry. 2.3 million, I said softly. Ryan sank into a chair, hard. Dr. Parker continued. And Henry's investment holdings. Saw his granite statement last month with bond papers. 890,000, around there. Around there, I echoed. Grace clutched Ryan's shoulder. Ryan, you knew none of this? Before he replied, Dr. Parker spoke. What I admire most about Henry. Never seeks praise. Skipped last year's bond backer dinner. Declined a cardiac wing plaque. She smiled warmly. Quietly builds his firm, manages assets, ensures his son graduated debt-free. Debt-free hit Laura's ears. Debt-free? Dr. Parker nodded. Oh, yes. Henry paid Ryan's full Brighton school tuition. $319,000, something massive, in cash. Ryan stared at the floor, color gone. Dr. Parker went on. I've seen generous parents, but Henry's sacrifice stands out. Multiple jobs, growing his firm, investing every cent so his son could doctor without loan burdens. Silence rang. Dr. Parker smiled at me. Henry, I'll let you enjoy your night, but the board greenlit your children's wing bond proposal, $500,000, if you're still in. I'm in, I said. Great. Papers next week. She paused, turning. Oh, Ryan, be proud of your dad. Few sons have someone who believes in them so fully. She left, silence heavy. The group's faces had shifted. Pity and shame turned to respect. Laura spoke. Henry, I had no idea. Laura Whitman, Hospital Board. Nice to meet you, Laura. A man in a navy suit stepped up. Richard Hayes, Board Chair. Dr. Parker's right. We've tried to honor your contributions for years. Not needed, I said. It is to us, Richard insisted. He glanced at Ryan, still staring blankly. Your son's lucky, he added. Most young doctors start with huge debt. It defines their lives. Ryan's focus on medicine, no financial stress, that's a rare gift. I nodded. My pleasure. Grace found words. Ryan, why hide this? Ryan met her eyes, then mine, red-rimmed. I didn't know. Didn't know. Laura's tone sharpened. I knew he paid for school, but thought he'd mortgaged his house or something. Not the business, the bonds, nothing. Richard frowned. But the bond? Your dad helped fund your department. Ryan shook his head. He never said. And you never asked, Laura snapped. The group saw the truth. A son so ashamed he never learned his father's reality. A doctor so fixed on impressing others he dismissed the man who built his success. Grace looked at Ryan, stunned. "You said your dad was gone, Ryan." "Dead." Richard's face soured. "You told people he was dead." Ryan tried to rise, but I touched his shoulder. "Sit, son. Not done." I faced the crowd, Ryan's important people, no longer impressed. They were appalled. I had one last move. I pulled an envelope from my jacket. "Ryan, one more thing. Your future." I drew 3 papers, set them on the table for all to see. Life insurance policy. Sterling Life Assurance, $1.2 million benefit. The group leaned closer. Grace's eyes widened. Paid premiums 15 years. You're the beneficiary since 18. I pointed to Ryan's name. But here's the thing about insurance. The holder can change beneficiaries anytime. I took a pen. "What are you doing?" Ryan's voice cracked. "Changing it." I struck his name, wrote, Riverside Medical Foundation, Cardiac Scholarship Fund. "Dad, no, you can't." "I can, and I am." Richard read over my shoulder. Scholarships for working-class kids chasing medicine. For parents cleaning offices, driving rideshares. I signed, dated, November 28, 2025. Witnessed by. I looked to Laura. She signed without pause. Laura Whitman, board member. Richard followed. Richard Hayes, board chair. Ryan stared at the paper. "Dad, please, think this through." "I've been thinking for weeks." I drew the second document. My will, updated yesterday. "Want to know your inheritance now, Ryan?" I showed the first page. Nothing. Nothing. Investments to the scholarship fund. Business to my workers. House to charity. Grace gripped the table. "Ryan, say something." But Ryan eyed the third paper I'd set down. "What's that?" "My favorite," I said, lifting it. "Life insurance on you, Ryan." His face drained. "On me?" $500,000. I'm the beneficiary. Paid premiums 6 years. The group fell silent. Debt-free med school, a built foundation, you're a prime insurance risk. Young doctor, healthy, high earning potential. Ryan's voice shook. "You insured my life. To protect my investment." I held up the policy for all to see. "But here's the thing, son. I don't need this now. My investment in you didn't deliver as hoped." I tore the policy slowly in half. "Dad, what are you?" I tore it again, and again, letting pieces flutter to the table like confetti. "There goes your $500,000 policy, Ryan." Grace gasped faintly. "Don't worry," I added. "Your new friends here will surely cover you if needed." The group's faces mixed shock and revulsion. These were Ryan's peers, the ones he'd craved to dazzle. Laura Whitman spoke. "Ryan, did you really say your dad was dead?" It's complex." "Simple question," Richard Hayes pressed. "Yes or no?" Ryan stared down. "Yes." "Since when?" "Med school." Grace stepped back. "You lied to me for 2 years." "Grace, please. Your dad propped up your whole life, and you said he was dead." Laura shook her head. "I've seen ungrateful kids, but this is vile." Richard added, "Henry, I owe you an apology." "If we'd known, you couldn't have," I said. Ryan ensured that. I gathered the torn policy scraps into the envelope. "One more thing, son. The hospital contract. Collins Cleaning Groups provided services here 5 years, $480,000 yearly. Dr. Parker mentioned it, but now I had their focus. It's up for renewal next month. Ryan's voice was faint. Dad, I've decided not to renew. Richard frowned. Why? Your work's top-notch. Because I don't want my son in a building I maintain. Feels wrong, given his view of my job. The group felt the weight. Ryan would work where his dad was unwelcome, where all knew of the son who disowned his father. Also, I said, I'll suggest my other medical facility contracts shift to competitors. Dad, you can't. I can, and will. My presence in your work world shames you. I'm fixing that. Laura eyed Ryan with scorn. Do you grasp what your dad's doing? He's ruining his business, Ryan said. No, I corrected. I'm guarding my pride. Collins Cleaning Group will thrive. We've got office, government contracts, places valuing my work. I looked at Ryan. Places I won't cross paths with a son ashamed of me. Grace slid off her engagement ring, set it on the table. I can't marry someone who hides their family, she said softly. Grace, please. Your dad gave everything for you. Everything. And you repaid him by erasing him. She faced me. Henry, I'm sorry I was part of this. You didn't know, I said kindly. I should have asked more. Not your fault, Grace. Richard pulled a card. Henry, let's discuss a bigger role with the foundation. We need board members who get sacrifice. I'll think on it. Laura offered hers. And I'd like to explore scholarship funding. I pocketed both. Ryan sat alone. Grace had left. His peers looked at him like a stranger. Dad, he whispered. I'm sorry. I know, son. Can we fix this? I studied him, the man I'd raised, who'd broken my heart. I don't know, Ryan. I really don't. I took my envelope and turned to go. Dad, wait. I paused. What now? You learn, I said, not looking back. Learn to earn respect, not demand it. Learn to honor those who built you. I walked off. And if you're lucky, I called, you'll learn it's not too late to be the man I thought I raised. I moved through the gala crowd to the exit. People parted, watching. Some saw the clash, others heard bits. By tomorrow, Kansas City's medical world would know of Dr. Ryan Collins and his custodian dad who owned bonds, funded med school, and was declared dead by his son. At the valet, the kid's gaze shifted. Car, sir. No, thanks. I walked. The November air hit, and I breathed deep. For the first time in 27 years, I felt unburdened. The tale spread fast. By Monday, my phone buzzed non-stop, news outlets, hospital heads, business owners who'd heard of the gala. The call that mattered came Tuesday. Collins Cleaning Group, Henry speaking. Henry, Dr. Emily Parker. Hello, Dr. Parker. Update on the scholarship fund. Since Saturday, we've got $40,000 in donations. People want to back working class sacrifice. $40,000 in 3 days. That's great. More, the board met yesterday. They want to name the Cardiac Wing Scholarship after you. The Henry Collins Foundation for Medical Education. I sank into my chair. That's generous. Henry, Saturday night shifted views on family sacrifice, on valuing supporters. How's Ryan coping? Pause. He's struggling. The stories spread. People talk. I'd figured. Medical circles are tight, gossip flies. Is his job at risk? Not officially, but colleagues see him differently. Some senior doctors question his character. A twinge hit, not regret, but sorrow. Dr. Parker, I don't want his career ruined. I know. But actions have fallout, Henry. His choices reflect on his judgment, values. After we hung up, I sat long in my office. Collins' cleaning group boomed, new contracts weekly from our reputation. Yet success felt empty with my son distant. Wednesday's call came. Dad. Ryan's voice, rough, exhausted. Hello, son. Can we meet? Where? Somewhere quiet, away from it all. We met at Loose Park, where I'd taken him as a kid to feed ducks, play. Cold for November, Ryan sat on our old bench when I arrived. He looked rough, dark eyes, messy hair. Dad, listen first, I said, sitting beside him. He nodded. I didn't shame you to hurt you, Ryan. You needed to feel shame's cost. I know. Do you? Really? Silence. Grace ended it, he said. I'm sorry. I wasn't, and he knew it. Grace was part of the issue. The board's reviewing my promotion. Some senior doctors won't work with me. They say someone who disowned family can't be trusted. Hard to hear. Are they right, Dad? Am I that guy? I looked at him, really looked. At 31, he seemed the 11-year-old who'd wept when his mom died. I don't know, Ryan. Are you? I thought I was good. I save lives, work hard. Thought that sufficed. It doesn't. I see that now. We sat, watching joggers, hearing distant cars. Dad, why hide the money, the success? Expected question. I wanted respect for me, not my wealth. If you'd known, you'd have treated me better for money. That's not respect, Ryan. That's fear. He nodded. I wanted my son proud of his custodian dad, who sacrificed all. Not impressed by an investor. I was proud, he murmured. No, grateful. Different thing. Silence stretched. What now? He asked. Your call. Meaning? You can rebuild your name, prove you're not the son who erased his dad. I stood, looking down. Or become better, earn respect through character, not status. How? Like I built all I have, one day, one choice, one bond at a time. I walked off. Dad, wait. I turned. Any chance for us? I studied him, the man who'd crushed me but might be learning why. Ask in a year, Ryan, after you find who you are. A year? Give yourself time to be someone worth pride. Then we'll talk. I left him on the bench. In my rear view, he sat, alone with his choices, his consequences, his chance to grow. 6 months later, I reviewed Henry Collins Foundation scholarship applications. 12 students, working class, parents who gave all for medical dreams. First was Maria Santos. Her mom cleaned offices like me, her dad delivered. Maria worked 2 jobs through college for exam prep. Second, James Wilson Jr. His dad, a mechanic, mom, hospital kitchen worker. James never dreamed of med school until our fund. Each application echoed my story, families stretching dollars, parents juggling jobs, kids knowing sacrifices wait. They'd graduate debt-free, like Ryan, but with respect for those who enabled them. My phone rang. Dr. Parker. Henry, news on Ryan. Go ahead. He volunteers at the free clinic downtown, 3 nights weekly, serving uninsured. Good to hear. He's also at foundation board meetings, wants to interview scholarship candidates. I set down an application. Thoughts? He's learning service, giving back to the community that lifted him. Does he mention me? Often, but no direct contact. Surprising. I'd expected a call sooner, on his terms. He said something last week, Dr. Parker added. He's learning the gap between success and deserving it. Hope stirred in me. His work? Better, humbler, more team-focused. We talked, then hung up. I returned to applications, but Ryan lingered in my mind, the son I'd raised, lost, and might regain. That evening, cleaning my office, I found a card under old med school receipts. Crayon on paper, Happy Father's Day, Dad. Best dad ever. Love, Ryan. Made at 8, 23 years ago. I'd kept it. I stared, recalling the boy proud of his dad's cleaning job, bragging to friends. Somewhere, he'd learned shame. But maybe the man could learn pride again. My phone buzzed, an unknown number. Dad, it's Ryan. I know you said a year, but I need you to know. I'm learning sacrifice, respect, earning versus receiving. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to be someone you'd be proud of. I love you. I stared long, then typed, I've always been proud, son, even when disappointed. Keep learning, growing. I'm here when you're ready. I sent it, pocketed the phone. Outside, Kansas City dimmed into evening, office lights on, folks heading home, families at tables. Somewhere, my son was learning to be a man worth respect. For the first time in months, I believed he might get there. The Henry Collins Foundation would aid dozens, kids valuing sacrifice, honoring parents who fueled their dreams. But its greatest lesson might be this: it's never too late to become who you're meant to be. Even if losing all leads you back. If you're watching, think of those who sacrificed for you. Honor them while you can. The hardest lessons are the strongest, and always worth learning.